Sabrina Carpenter may be one of the most in-demand pop singers of the decade, but her life has been marked by numerous tragedies. From mental health battles to personal loss and death threats, the Grammy winner has faced many heartbreaking moments. Sabrina Carpenter was certainly an ambitious child. Before she even reached her teenage years, she appeared in Law & Order Special Victims Unit, launched her own YouTube channel singing covers of Adele and Christina Aguilera, and finished third in an online talent contest staged by Miley Cyrus. Unfortunately, many of her peers didn't appreciate her world-dominating plans. She told Interview magazine, "Ironically, I was bullied for singing. I had really big dreams as a child and it worked out for me. I did well in school, but I'll be honest, I started homeschooling really young. It sounds so dramatic, but I felt safer learning the way that I did." Carpenter also acknowledged how lucky she was to be able to escape her tormentors. She told the outlet, "I was in an online school and then I started working at a pretty young age. So I got out all those little toxic circles that you sometimes don't even realize you're in because you're so young. So I was grateful for that."
But the music was always my life, and still is.
Although Carpenter now appears to embody female empowerment, the former Disney star has acknowledged that she hasn't always been in the position to do so. In fact, during her early years, she felt that she was under the thumb of those who didn't necessarily have her best interests at heart. Carpenter told Time in 2024, "For a long time, I was constantly guided and misguided. However, she was also able to seek some positives from such a difficult period." She added, "I'm so grateful for all of those times where I was led astray, because now I'm a lot more equipped going into situations where I have to trust my own instincts." Following the release of her fifth studio album, Emails I Can't Send, Carpenter realized she was fully willing to embrace the chaos of life. She told the outlet, "I wanted to make sure to still be young while I'm young. To go through your life trying to be a little robot angel, you're going to have a lot of regrets later. That's also why during that time of my life, I was a little bit of an emotional wreck."
Try to make decisions now that, maybe I'd be too afraid to make because I'm young and I can get away with more.
On Carpenter's 2022 album, Emails I Can't Send, several songs were inspired by her first heartbreak, including Tornado Warnings. Carpenter has never revealed the identity of the man responsible, but hasn't been afraid to discuss just how devastated he made her feel. During a 2024 appearance on The Zane Lowe Show, Carpenter admitted that the experience not only took a while to get over, but also made her second-guess everything about herself. She said, "Those instincts, like the trust in yourself, just the ability to move throughout a room without questioning if other people's opinions are more important than your own." In a 2025 interview with Vogue, Carpenter disclosed how the breakdown of said relationship felt completely different to any she'd previously gone through. She explained, "My biggest heartbreak to date, in a sense of really understanding the grieving someone that's alive feeling. I never felt that until this one."
The thing about albums, projects, writing songs, it's all moments.
As with many of her songs, Carpenter drew upon her own real-life experiences when writing 2019's Exhale. This time, she was reflecting on her battle with anxiety. In an interview with MTV News, Carpenter spoke of her struggle with the mental health condition, saying, "I don't think you know what it is because it is 1,000 questions that you can't answer. Sometimes it feels like you can't breathe. You don't know where to start, you don't know where to begin to start feeling better and to start healing yourself." Carpenter also admitted that she was initially reluctant to open up about her struggles. She added, "I never wanted anybody to feel like I was complaining. I have so many things to be grateful for." However, she also realized that by speaking out, she could help fans going through similar experiences. She continued, "It's taking that second to remind yourself that just because you have so much to be grateful for doesn't mean that there aren't things you're internally struggling with."
It's created the space for people to understand that there's a human behind songs.
In 2019, actor Cameron Boyce, who starred in The Descendants and Jessie, tragically died after suffering a severe epileptic seizure at the age of just 20. Having also found fame on the Disney Channel around the same time in Girl Meets World, Carpenter had become a close friend and was devastated at the news. In a heartfelt tribute on Facebook, Carpenter wrote, "I cannot grasp what a world without you looks like yet. Nor do I want to. Nothing I can write will feel right or pay enough tribute to how incredible you actually are. But all I know is I am so beyond lucky to have known you and eternally grateful for the times you and I shared together." Carpenter went on to compliment Boyce's sense of humor, spirit, and mind before lamenting how the world had now been robbed of his talent. She concluded her message by writing, "You will be so missed, but absolutely never forgotten. To your family, I am sending all the love in the world as I can't imagine how you are feeling in this time. See you again one day, Cam." In 2021, Olivia Rodrigo scored a massive global hit with Driver's License, an angst-ridden tale of heartbreak, which hinted that ex-boyfriend Joshua Bassett had betrayed her with an older blonde woman. Considering that her age and hair color matched the description, many assumed that Carpenter was the unnamed other woman. It was a love triangle which catapulted all parties into the stratosphere, but it also came at a cost too. While Carpenter has never explicitly addressed her involvement, she did appear to acknowledge the fallout on her 2022 album, Emails I Can't Send. On the track Because I Liked a Boy, the pop princess sings, "Now I'm a homewrecker, I got death threats, filling up semi-trucks." With Bassett disclosing that he also received threats to his life, Rodrigo has since vowed to give a little more forewarning when drawing from real-life experiences in any future songs. She told Interview about the troublemaking song, "Literally, it was the first song out at the gate and all that happened. I felt so ill-equipped. That was an overwhelming experience. But now I definitely feel a responsibility to give a heads up." In 2020, Carpenter took to Instagram to share the sad news that her beloved grandfather, Frank Cartwright, had died. As she revealed to her millions of social media followers, Carpenter had always been close to her grandfather, who she described as supportive and loving. She included some snaps of him on Instagram, writing in the caption, "My heart hurts immensely. I will miss you forever. I promise we'll take good care of Grandma here. Love ya." Just 2 years after her grandpa died, Carpenter also lost her grandma, Marilyn Cartwright. Describing her grandmother as her biggest fan, Carpenter wrote in a tribute post on Instagram, "You were always so interested in the details that most people look right past. You make every person you spoke to feel so individually important. You gave me so much authentic, genuine love for so much of my life, and I will never take that for granted." Carpenter frequently shared touching moments from their relationship on social media. In 2016, she tweeted that her grandma had given her seal of approval to the tune "Smoke and Fire" because it had a, quote, "hot beat." 3 years later, she responded to a Christmas greeting from a fan by revealing that she and her grandmother would be spending the day playing ping pong together.
Our first loves and our first heartbreaks, I couldn't do anything that I'm doing without them.
Carpenter suffered a major scare in 2022 when she was forced to cancel a show in Portland over a credible bomb threat. The multiple Grammy Award winner was left devastated by the turn of events, informing her fans in a message, "I can't tell you how much it breaks my heart. This is the last thing I want to do." Carpenter had been due to perform at the Keller Auditorium, but when the venue that she was originally supposed to perform at, the Crystal Ballroom, received a bomb threat, promoter AEG Presents decided they had no option but to announce a postponement. A rep told Rolling Stone, "While the threat was not directed at Keller Auditorium specifically, Sabrina and event organizers agreed that out of an abundance of caution, the show be called off. Steps were taken to ensure that the audience exited the venue calmly, quickly, and safely." The Portland police force also stepped up their presence at both establishments, but luckily, the night passed without any incident. In 2024, Carpenter and her Please 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 video co-star, Barry Keoghan, became the hottest new power couple. However, the couple split after just a year together. And according to the Gossip Hounds, infidelity was the root cause. An insider claimed to People that the separation was amicable, driven by their mutual desire to focus on their careers, but a series of blind items and fan theories soon pointed the finger squarely at Keoghan and his apparent inability to stay faithful. The rumors got so out of hand that the Irish actor felt compelled to issue a statement on X, writing, "I can only sit and take so much. My name has been dragged across the internet in ways I usually don't respond to. I have to respond now because it's getting to a place where there are too many lines being crossed." Brecky Hill, the influencer who many believed Keoghan had cheated with, also took to social media in an attempt to set the record straight.
"No, I did not get with Barry. I have never even encountered this man in my life."
Carpenter may have been showing off her powerhouse vocals since she was a tween, but that didn't stop some skeptics from questioning whether she was really singing live during her short and sweet world tour. In 2024, one TikTok stirred up controversy when they asked if Carpenter ever performed live, uploading a clip from a show as apparent video evidence with the caption, "Hate to say it, but 30% lip singing, 30% backing track, 40% singing." Horrified at having her reputation tarnished, Carpenter subsequently issued a defiant response to the hater. She wrote in a since-deleted comment, "I sing live at every show 100%. Would you like to speak to my audio engineers?" Unfortunately, this clapback didn't have the desired effect, and the TikToker continued to raise their suspicions, stating they would very much like to meet her crew and lower the backtrack voice, as it was way too high. In June 2025, Carpenter announced the release of her 7th studio effort, Man's Best Friend. But the news was soon overshadowed by the furor over its suggestive album cover, in which she poses on all fours while an unseen man tightly grips her hair. Carpenter suffered a huge backlash from all sides of the media. One opinion piece in The Guardian called the cover soft porn pandering to the male gaze. The New York Post was even more scathing, writing, "It's an amazingly regressive message from a supposed girl power icon, and it does a tremendous disservice to the millions of girls who look up to stars like Carpenter for cues about femininity and womanhood." The singer herself appeared unbothered by all the negativity, so when a fan on X asked whether the star had anything to offer apart from sex, Carpenter responded, "Girl, yes, and it is good."
I'm actually a very normal amount of horny.
Carpenter previously told Rolling Stone that she saw such hostile reactions as a form of hypocrisy. She argued, "It's always so funny to me when people complain. They're like, all she does is sing about this. But those are the songs that you've made popular. Clearly you love sex. You're obsessed with it."